Hello, my name is Austin Webster, and I'll be showing you my CDR, a complete design review of all the things I've designed this year on the SAE team. First thing I designed was the front hub for the car, and I saved a total of almost half a pound per front hub with this new design. What you'll see here is the front hub. The wheel will mount on the back face of the designs you're seeing here, and the shaft coming out will hold the upright attached with bearings. And the star-like pattern you see there is for the brake rotor that will be attached using little tiny bolts that you see for those smaller holes going around, the 6 of them. The design changed from this year because we actually got to shorten this whole part. There was a ½ inch standoff before that we took out because it was unneeded, and that decreased the length of the hub as well as decreased the weight. Here's a simplified static analysis for that front hub, just the simple loading attached onto the shaft. That's the kind of loading we'd see with this car under severe stress, but we're still within a very low deformation, which shows that this part is doing what it needs to. I also designed the rear hub, saving about 4/10 of a pound here. This is the new design. You can see that this rear hub has a unique interior with that spline, and that is actually where the drive shaft goes. So the drive shaft will be going in there. Again, we were able to shorten the part by about ½ inch and get rid of that ½ inch standoff, and that cut weight as well as gave us more space for the upright to go closer into the center of the wheel. Here's a rear hub torsional analysis, and this shows the effects of the torque applied by the drive shaft on the hub in a max torque scenario. And you can see by the deformation that the deformation is very low, which means that this part can handle the movement, and the equivalent stress is also low as well. But you can see how that got analyzed there. The rear hub analysis, we modeled the car as a block on this rear hub and did all the torsional loadings and the static loadings all in one model to see how it would react. And this is the model we came out with, and it shows very, very good reaction to all of these stresses and loads. So this is also a successful part. The next thing I designed was the front upright. I saved barely any weight here, but it looks very similar to last year, so that would explain why. The one major thing that we changed on this front upright was switching the bearings from one side to the other side. So over here on this rightmost image, you'll see this little bump. This bump used to be over on the other side, and that actually brought the bearings closer into the vehicle and farther away from the center line of the tire. And so this year we flipped it so that the bearings are closer in towards the center line of the tire, giving us better steering characteristics as well as overall geometry characteristics. I analyzed from multiple directions on the front and rear wheels. You'll see as I go through. Here's the analysis on the front. Here's a 45-degree turn. Here's kind of a full lateral full lateral turn and the loadings that you'll see on that. Here's a negative 45-degree turn. So these last two could simulate when the car is actually spun out and going backwards, what kind of loading we'd see on the upright. We wanted to make sure that even if the car was in a situation that was not typical or ideal, that the parts that I designed could still withstand the forces that it might experience. Again, we designed for a very strong part. We wanted a 1.2 safety factor in all of these. You will see some safety factors that are a little bit lower than 1.2, but those are little point stresses, such as up here you'll see there's a 0.72 and a 0.85. Those little point stresses are seen mostly in holes where I constrained, but also little parts like this, but these are not a lot to worry about, so we're good right there. The last thing I designed was the rear upright. Saved just almost 2/10 of a pound per, and here's the design for those. Again, we switched the bearings to the other side, ran the same analysis coming from different angles on this one to see what was going on and if the part would stand up, and it turns out it does. So the last tiny little thing I've been working on is designing these little camber blocks up top, and we're going to run a full analysis on those coming up. In conclusion, I saved the car about 2 pounds, so that is my full design review. Thank you.